This is Mary Neubauer. As Milwaukee County moves to redesign its mental health system, it is turning to Mary and others like her who know firsthand what it's like to live with mental illness. Mary was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 1984. She knows what it's like to be held down with leather restraints. She's felt the frustration of not being taken seriously. She knows what it's like to be in so much anguish that suicide seems like the only reasonable alternative.
What I knew was that, I was experiencing a lot of change in mood. I'd go from depression to being highly energized and creative and grandiose and those sorts of things. It was difficult for me to function academically. In addition to having bipolar disorder, I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So school didn't go well at all. I didn't have many friends growing up, because I was the troublemaker. I caused problems, and I had a very painful existence, and that's about all it was an existence. 6 years ago, around Memorial Day, I was living with my father, and just, my life was not going well, and I left a suicide note in the wee hours of the morning and left. I called MPD and asked to talk to a CIT officer, and the officer and his partner agreed to come and escort me into my father's house to get my belongings, and really went above and beyond the call of duty. So I need you guys to know that the work that you do, the commitment of the work that you do, makes a difference in people's lives. It really makes a difference.
Mary's schedule is as busy as any corporate executive. Her voice is a vital and passionate one.
I'm doing all of these things, and I've got some new projects I'm working on. I'm volunteering with NAMI to coordinate and set up speakers for the crisis intervention training for the police officers, that were instrumental in saving my life. So I can't tell, is it really February, or is it April, or is it October? I don't know what's going on, but I think it's February. Yeah, it's February.
Mary also uses the stage to help educate others about what it's like to live with mental illness. She appears in a play called Pieces.
I'm going to be doing an original reading. It's the writing that I did in 1986, and it's a piece about where my life has been. Many scars reach the core, my center, my soul. Wounded and bleeding, yet nothing comes out. The slow, painful death continues.
Mary is a certified peer specialist. She helps other mental health consumers find benefits.
As a peer specialist, I personally work with individuals that are homeless that have a mental illness. And, bringing those experiences to the table and knowing what's there and what's not there in the system, looking at how the system is broken and not having adequate outpatient services and community-based services. So the importance of bringing those perspectives to the table, and I've been fortunate to have been mentored, and I've been fortunate to be able to mentor folks. When I didn't have hope, I had people in my life that provided hope for me and reminded me of the dreams that I had, and that I was really successful in school, and I was involved in the mental health field. I was involved as a consumer, and having the gift and the opportunity to have recovery. And for me, recovery is not linear. For me, it's like living on a spiral staircase, and I can take 2 or 3 steps up, maybe a half a step back. And, I live by the premise that recovery is a process and not an event.